Directed by Adam Bernstein, right? And he directs Fargo.
That's right.
And directed some Breaking Bad. And he really liked us a lot. But also on the show was, of course, Dane Cook.
Yes.
And we were in a scene where we pissed Dane Cook off, and he yelled at us.
You've never been yelled at until you've been yelled at by Dane Cook. That's my belief. Yeah, do we talk about
Yeah,
that?
why not? Okay? You want to hear the story, right? You want to hear how Dane Cook?
Yeah. Dane, you're not here, are you?
There's no fucking way. And of course, Dane Cook is a very, very nice guy. We've had him on Night Late before. He always tells the most terrific anecdotes that just go on with a lot of hand gestures. Don't have a lot of jokes to them, but still a great guy.
I remember when the first time I talked to him on set, I remember I got into a conversation, and somehow in the conversation coming out of my mouth was how exciting it must be to be a comic who writes his own material. Like I wasn't doing a bit about him stealing jokes from other people, but it was just coming out of my mouth, and it was one of those horror show moments where I was like, I have to put this away, but I can't because they're words. I mean, I was just chatting. He was super nice until he yelled at us. He was super nice, and it was one of those things. I hadn't at that point worked with a lot of famous people, and
what did he yell at you guys for?
They were doing coverage on them. It was for the day. It was like it was obviously a meaty scene for him, and you could feel him sort of warming up to the day because he really wanted to.
He was all about process. That was one of the things.
Yeah, he was weirdly about process, which came out of nowhere for me about Dane Cook. Yeah. But they shot, they did a conference room scene, and they shot him and his co-star, and they were supposed to have a big blowout argument, but it was a glass wall behind them, and we left the conference room, and then Kobi and I were in the glass wall behind them, congratulating each other because we had got them to sign on with our ad agency or something.
We were playing ad men, if you can believe that.
Kyle 1 and Kyle 2.
Yeah, I forget. Were you Kyle
2? Definitely Kyle 2.
Okay, good. Just
You're still #1 Kyle in my book. But we did a couple takes where we shook hands in the glass while they were acting in the forefront.
And we were, very quite clear about what was going on. Is that is happening in the foreground, and we're, having our background thing happening behind that. We were quite clear, quite respectful as we. It
was a great comedy shot.
Absolutely.
And Adam Bernstein, the director, came over and he said, it was like the last take. He said, "Have some fun, go crazy" to us, right? And we were like, "Oh, great." And we danced around and did a weird kid and play thing and the robot.
To be clear, my memory of it is being sort of still and you sort of dancing around me. It was great. It was funny. It was super funny.
Let's see it. Yeah, I don't know. It was like 3 years ago.
It wasn't tightly scripted.
Sure, let's do it. We can do it. Wolf, right, and Dane Cook are in the background. There's a glass wall here. Camera's shooting this way. We come out. We're like, right? It was like something like that.
A lot of years ago.
And to the left were the monitors, and there are a lot of laughs come from the monitors where the director and producer were. Adam yells "cut," and
the way I remember it, I'm curious if you remember it the same way, is that Dane Cook sort of storms out of the conference room, looks us in the eye, but then sort of addresses the set more broadly and goes, "Why am I always fucking the last to know?"
Yep.
And then storms off.
Well, Adam, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Why am I always the fucking last to know?
Oh, see, I remember is why am I always fucking the last.
Okay, good. We should workshop it so it's tight.
Nice.
Yeah. And Adam comes over and he takes him by the elbow and walks him away. And we hear him be like, "You told him to?" or something. "I'm in there doing my job." And Kobi and I, our first thing, we're looking at each other "What the fuck did we do?"
I was quite clear I was going to be fired.
I thought so.
I was like 100. There was no doubt. I was like, well, okay. Well, at least it was for a bit. At least it wasn't for incompetence. At least we tried something.
Yeah. And we were told to do it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't know how this stuff works.
Dane Cook was the head of the Hollywood Mafia.
Yeah, that's how Hollywood politics work, right, guys?
Did he apologize ever after?
He never said the words "I'm sorry," but we came back afterwards and he was like, "I didn't know that you had been told to do that."
Is that your memory? My memory of it is that we didn't see him again for the rest of the day.
They did cut him very quickly. It was like
yeah.
they're over hours, and we can look at the stand-ins while they're, I don't know, he was riding his motorcycle. Think about his motorcycle.
the thing I remember, and this is why I love Adam Bernstein, who directed the pilot of our show, is that you know, we had you know, I at least hadn't done a lot of stuff like this before. I was very rattled by this. I'm not used to people screaming at me at work. I don't know what your life is.
Especially when it's Dane Cook.
who in that tiny little context is a really important person for that tiny little context. And
Sure.
and Bernstein, you know, pulls us aside right afterwards and says, and looks very serious at us, and this is when I thought we were getting fired.
Yeah.
And said, hey, guys, I want you to remember that when you get famous, don't act like that.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Which was the nicest thing, because until that point, I could have very easily left that day feeling like I was a total asshole.
Yeah.
You know, who had, you know, been a maypole and little else, you know, but instead.
I just thought it was cool that Adam Bernstein was like, when you get famous. I was like, joke's on you, Adam Bernstein. Kobi will get famous. I'm set dressing.